YorubaNation ohùn ọmọ Yorùbá.
YorubaNation ohùn ọmọ Yorùbá.
The 12th of April 2024 was a great day in the life of the indigenous Yoruba people, IYP, of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, DRY, on the western part of Africa. It was the day that the Yoruba people of Democratic Republic of the Yoruba made their proclamation of sovereignty after suffering more than 100 years under the enslavement of colonial arranged Nigeria. On this day, April 12, 2024, the mother of the Yoruba race, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola, made the proclamation of sovereignty of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, DRY, on the soil of Ibadan, the capital city of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, and immediately thereafter, on the same day, the swearing in of the head of provisional government, that is President of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, Mr. Mobolaji Olawale Akinola Omokore, the father of the government of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, was done. But that was not the beginning of the journey. This journey started with a 5 million signature petition initiated by Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola on the 8th of March 2022. It was a glorious day when Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola on that day came out on Zoom meeting over the internet to address all the indigenous Yoruba people, asking them to supply 5 million signatures of genuine Yoruba people 18 years and above, promising that once we can do that, once the indigenous Yoruba people can do that, the journey to independence from under the stranglehold of Nigeria has commenced and would be successful. It will be as good as done that we are independent. Immediately, participants answering this call went all over Yoruba land in the western part of Africa, from village to village, hamlet to hamlet, gathering signatures for the petition. Those who did not have access to the internet were helped by collecting their details, name, address, phone numbers, even when those phones were not internet enabled, and this information were entered on the signature platform www.ominirayoruba2022.com. That became the slogan for the people, that they had to go and sign for agreeing to exit Nigeria. And then on the 27th of May 2022, another great day, as Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola came on air again to announce that the petition had reached and even surpassed its 5 million targets. The enemies tried to pull it down, they could not. And when this came out, it became mission accomplished. And Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola went ahead from there to give instruction to IYP members to write introduction and recognition letters worldwide, including writing to the President of Nigeria. Indigenous Yoruba people all over the world were asked to write letters to the presidents and heads of state of whatever countries they live in, the governors of whatever states they are in, and all the VIPs in their countries, informing them that Yoruba is a nation, Nigeria is not a nation, that Yoruba has been subsumed under Nigeria for a long time, and therefore not many people knew that Yoruba is a nation. But now we were coming out to inform the world that Yoruba is a nation. Letters were written to presidents of countries all over the country, all over the world, dignitaries all over the world, including writing to the president of Nigeria. Thereafter, there was a competition for indigenous Yoruba people to produce designs for the travel passport of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Several people participated, and eventually there was a passport design picked by the indigenous Yoruba people as a design to be used for their travel passport. After this came that great day, November 20, 2022. The 5 million petition was an intent to exit Nigeria, indication of intent. But the actual exit was done by the Declaration of Independence on November 20, 2022. In that declaration statement, it was said categorically that from that very day, November 20, 2022, the sovereign independent Yoruba nation, now known as Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, ceased to be a part of Nigeria, ceased to have any connection with Nigeria politically, economically, or otherwise. After this declaration of independence, it became imperative to formally inform the governors all over Yoruba land who had been elected under Nigerian system, to inform them that now that the Yoruba are a sovereign independent nation, with the Declaration of Independence having been done on 20th November 2022, these governors were informed that the now independent Yoruba nation, Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, would be coming to claim back all property, government offices, stations, borders, barracks, airports, seaports, and every property of government now belonging to Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. This was done via the reclamation notification document. This was physically submitted to the governor's office in Lagos State, physically submitted to the governor's office in Oyo State, what is now Ibadan State, in the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, and also sent by mail to all the other offices of the governors throughout Yoruba land. A copy of this reclamation notification document was also sent to the United Nations as well as to the President of Nigeria. Then on the 4th of February 2023, the occupation, physical occupation of the premises of state government offices took place. Nigeria, being recalcitrant as they are, showed force. They responded with show of force. But then, the Yorubas, we had done what we wanted to do. We had showed the world that we were ready to occupy what belongs to us. And based on the fact that we are now a sovereign independent nation, Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, recognized across the world, the United Nations in September of 2023 invited us to participate as a country in our own right in the United Nations 78th session of the General Assembly. We were represented by our ambassador at large, Mr. Stephen Ademola Faleti, who did an able job to represent the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Going forward from there, on the 20th of November 2023, it became 1 year after the Declaration of Independence, and we had to celebrate the 1-year anniversary. Part of the celebration involved giving gifts to various classes of people, including widows and widowers across Yoruba land. Meanwhile, Nigeria was still recalcitrant, forcibly occupying our territory. But we were forging ahead. There was no going back. We were now and are now an independent nation. Then came that day that we mentioned earlier on, the 12th of April, 2024, when Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola came out on air to proclaim the sovereignty of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. That was the day, the moment, the time, the material time that the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, the indigenous Yoruba people, took back effectively their power of self-governance to use it. And this was immediately followed, like we said, by the swearing in of the president, that is the head of provisional government, the father of the government system of the Yoruba nation, DRY, Mr. Mobolaji Olawale Akinola Omokore. The Democratic Republic of the Yoruba has 7 states as of now: the state of Eko, the state of Ogun, the state of Ibadan, the state of Osun, the state of Ondo, the state of Ekiti, and the state of Old Oyo Empire. All of these states have their government secretariats which belong to the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba and to our government. These states have various landmarks, tourist centers, tourist attractions that are marvelous. We can talk of the warm spring in Ekiti State. We can talk of Erinjesha Falls in Osun State. We can talk of the massive coastline in Lagos and Ondo State. We can talk of all kinds of places, Idonre Hills in Ondo State. Various things that mark Yoruba land specifically for what it is: a land of beauty, a land of greatness, a land of achievements waiting to be harvested. And another thing happened. The head of provisional government of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, Mr. Mobolaji Olawale Akinola Omokore, signed a contract with the indigenous Yoruba people of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. It was a solemn occasion, a solemn document in which he expressly said and signed that he would not default on the things required of him as head of provisional government by the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Should he default, he signed this contract saying that appropriate punishment should be meted out to him. This is unprecedented. Quite unlike the colonial arranged Nigeria, where people in power do as they like, behaving like no man can arrest them. The colonial arranged Nigeria, after we had proclaimed our sovereignty on the 12th of April 2024, went ahead the very following day, 13th of April 2024, to attack and arrest soldiers of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba who were stationed at our government secretariat in Ibadan, arrested them, made them prisoners of war. This colonial arranged Nigeria, which is neither a country nor a nation, and illegally occupying our land even after we had proclaimed our sovereignty, and so on in our head of provisional government, went ahead also to demolish property belonging to indigenous Yoruba people, IYP. This has been The story of the encroachment and terrorism being perpetrated by Nigeria on the land of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. But we went on forging ahead all the same. No matter the circumstances, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba has come to stay, and there is no stopping us. Never shall we again return to Nigeria. Our exit from Nigeria is irrevocable, irreversible, non-negotiable. That's it. We went ahead on the 1st of May 2024 to launch our newspaper, Ìròyìn Ojoojúmọ́. Thereafter, we launched our online TV, YorubaNation. We also went ahead to distribute flyers to showcase the key points of our journey so far. There is a flyer where we showcase the fact that we did the Declaration of Independence of the Yoruba Nation, now known as Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, on Sunday, the 20th of November 2022, and that we did the reclamation, the letter given to the governors to hand over all property to the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. This was done beginning effectively from Sunday, December 18, 2022, but spreading over time, since we had to deliver the letters to the various governors over a number of days, right up till January 2023. And then this same flyer shows how we proclaimed our sovereignty of Democratic Republic of the Yoruba on Friday, April 12, 2024, followed by the swearing in of Mobolaji Olawale Akintola Omokore as head of Democratic Republic of the Yoruba Provisional Government on same day, Friday, April 12, 2024. This flyer also shows that under Nigeria, from where we exited, our population was given as 42.6 million. Well, we are going to have our own census, and we will tell the world what our population is. And this flyer also shows that the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba is the newest nation in the world, the 55th nation in Africa, the newest in West Africa. We are bordered on the west by the Benin Republic, on the east by Nigeria's South-South region, on the north by Nigeria Republic, and on the south by the Gulf of Guinea. This same flyer has our coat of arms with the motto, Imale Ogo Adulawo. These are part of the things we began to do, using these flyers to inform people, because Nigeria encroaching upon our land and committing acts of terrorism has not allowed media that they are encroaching upon to carry news of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. We know they will have to give way very soon. But meanwhile, we use these flyers to disseminate information and to let people know this is how far we have gone, this is what we intend to do. We also distributed flyers showing the resources of Yoruba land, resources of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Yoruba land is blessed with a lot of resources. Gold, bitumen, name it. So much. As a matter of fact, that's the reason the enemies have had their eyes on our land. But now we are free. And we are not going to allow any enemy to take over our land. Not anymore. We have informed people about these resources so that our people can be rest assured that there is sufficient, there is enough for everybody. We have also done awareness campaign of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, distributing flyers, using advertising vans, etc. We are also using flyers and videos to showcase the indigenous Yoruba people of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba at the UN 79th session in September 2024, rejoicing and celebrating the new nation Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. At this time also, there were awareness campaigns using flyers, music, AWE, vans moving around at the Nigerian embassy in the US, at the premises of the United Nations, and so on and so forth. The whole world was being made aware that here we are, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, the world's newest nation, no longer enslaved under Nigeria, no longer enslaved under any colonial arrangement. We took this awareness campaign further to the UK, the Buckingham Palace, number 10 Downing Street, the Nigerian embassy in the UK. We also spoke with the indigenous Yoruba people communities in the UK, the African communities in the UK, and so on and so forth. We went to other places as well, just to let the whole world know DRY, Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, is a reality. We went ahead to the US, where we had our balloon awareness campaign, flying of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba flags all over, being witnessed by many, seen flying in the air. We are leaving no stone unturned to let the world know that Yoruba is no longer part of Nigeria. We are Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. We have also taken steps. Both the mother of Yoruba land, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola, and the head of provisional government, Mr. Mobolaji Olawale Akinola Omokore, have taken steps to write certain key letters. Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola wrote a letter to heads of governments at the 79th session of the United Nations, making them aware that despite the fact that we are now a sovereign nation, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, Nigeria was still encroaching upon our land and committing acts of terrorism. Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola went ahead in that letter to inform the various heads of state that they should contact the United Kingdom government and ask the UK government to stop their support for the encroaching Nigeria and to stop their support for Nigeria's terrorist acts on the territory of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Similarly, the head of provisional government, DRY, Mr. Mobolaji Olawale Akinola Omokore, wrote to the UK government because certain people who are not indigenous Yoruba people of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, even though they may call themselves Yoruba, went to the UK representing something other than the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. So the head of provisional government of the DRY wrote to the UK government telling them that those people had committed an offense, a crime, and that the DRY intends coming to ask for evidence of their crime. These letters were made public to all people, all indigenous Yoruba people, because it was written in Yoruba, it was put into English language, it was put into French language. And after this, we went ahead to educate all Yorubas to always think Yoruba first. So we had flyers all over the place that stresses think Yoruba first. After God Almighty, Yoruba first. That's our slogan in the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. We also had flyers that have been informing people to stop supporting Nigeria's acts of terrorism and encroachment on the territory of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. As an example, on the 12th of April 2024, the head of provisional government of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, in his maiden speech, closed down all schools for the meantime in the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. But the encroaching government of terrorist Nigeria have kept these schools open And the message has gone out to all the indigenous Yoruba people to withdraw their children and wards from all schools in the territory of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Because not doing so and continuing to pay fees to this terrorizing, encroaching government of Nigeria amounts to supporting the acts of terrorism and encroachment of Nigeria. So indigenous Yoruba people have been warned against that and have been asked to withdraw their children. Stop supporting acts of terrorism, we have told our people. And meanwhile, when the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba exited Nigeria, we did so on the basis of several rights. Most countries who exit a previous arrangement they were a part of do so on the basis of the right to self-determination. But we, the indigenous Yoruba people of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, have used several rights to back up our exit as a foundation for our exit, and these include the right to self-determination, the rights of indigenous peoples, the rights of sovereign peoples, the rights of ethnic nationalists, the right to self-defense as indigenous people, the fundamental human rights, the right to be free and independent. So we have such a solid foundation for our exit out of Nigeria and for our existence and being constituted as a sovereign nation today. This is unassailable. We also have flyers distributed around to let people know, because this is important. Since Nigeria is encroaching upon our land right now, we do not yet have direct access to the media houses. So we have to keep informing people. We have flyers informing them that Nigeria is not a nation, but a colonial arrangement. Nigeria was never a nation, has never been, can never be, will never be. A nation is a large group of people united by common descent, history, culture, language, ancestral land. Whereas Nigeria is just an arrangement, colonial arrangement. An arrangement is for something to happen in a particular way or a plan for how that thing will happen. It's just an arrangement put together. It's not a natural phenomenon. It's not a nation. So this information has been going out copiously through flyers, letting our people know and letting the world know that Nigeria is not a nation. Let's take a look, a comparison, as it were, between Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Like we said, a nation is a large group of people united by common descent, history, culture, language, ancestral land. As far as common descent is concerned, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba, the indigenous Yoruba people, can point to Ile-Ife as a point of reference of common descent. Nigeria has no such place. Concerning history, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba has got a known history from the beginning of time. We can point to our icons, we can point to things that have happened in our history. Nigeria has no history, just narratives of colonialism. That's what it is. Nigeria was arranged after centuries upon centuries of existence of Yoruba history. Nigeria is not a nation. When it comes to culture, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba has a unique culture, heritage, traditions known all over the world. People can tell you specifically that such and such a thing is Yoruba culture. There's no such thing called Nigeria culture. Because Nigeria is not a people, not a nation, not a race, nothing. Just an arrangement of the colonialists, that's all. And when you talk of language, the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba has a very rich Yoruba language, a language taught and learned in various places across the world. A language that is rich in its proverbs and so many other things. Nigeria has no language, no natural language, no mother tongue, because it's just an arrangement. It is just a false colonial English language. English is the language of the English people. That language is simply imposed on their arrangement called Nigeria. Nigeria has no language. A nation would have an ancestral land. The Democratic Republic of the Yoruba can point to the Yoruba Empire, kingdoms, cities, towns, villages, farmlands, rivers, lakes, lagoon, ocean, resources, etc., which from time immemorial are known to be the ancestral land of the Yoruba people. Nigeria has no ancestral land. Just a colonial amalgamation of 100 years, that's all. So it is not a nation. These are significant differences between the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba and the arrangement called Nigeria. You would realize that some things happened before the arrangement called Nigeria took root, where it did. A British man known as Lord Macaulay, in the year 1835, precisely on 2nd February, made certain observations. Macaulay said he had traveled the length and breadth of Africa. He had not seen a single beggar in Africa. He had not seen a thief in Africa, but rather he saw enormous wealth in Africa. He saw high moral values in Africa. He saw people of high caliber in Africa. He saw that Africans are of great spirituality. He saw Africans as being of high self-esteem. And he saw Africa's wonderful cultural heritage, as well as Africa's advanced ancient educational system. Come on, think of it. No single beggar, no single thief, enormous wealth, high moral values, people of high caliber, people of great spirituality, people of high self-esteem, wonderful cultural heritage, advanced ancient educational system. That's Africa, and that's the Yoruba. This was what Macaulay observed and told his people in Britain back in the year 1835. But now, see what Macaulay recommended to his people in Britain on 2nd February 1835. After seeing the wonderful things he saw in Africa, and of course, which includes Yoruba land, Macaulay now proposed to the British to break Africa's backbone, to replace African advanced educational system, to replace Africa's culture with foreign English culture, to replace Africa's high self-esteem, to replace Africa's high moral values, to replace Africa's spirituality, to replace Africa's originality with fake, manipulated foreign ideas. And according to him, so that Africa would become a truly dominated nation, a truly dominated continent. This has been the evil agenda perpetrated by the colonialists. And through the mother of Yoruba land, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola, we've been able to see the progression of the execution of Macaulay's proposals. We have been able to identify, as Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola revealed to us and taught us to understand, which is the truth of the matter, that what the colonialists were after and are after is the resources of our land. To have the resources, they've got to have power. To have power, they've got to make slaves of us so they could take the power. And once they made slaves of us, poverty was the result, as slaves do not own anything. From poverty, the people being impoverished would find various ways of getting things done for themselves, even if they be crooked ways, as they can no longer get things the proper way. So corruption sets in. Even the leaders are corrupt. Being corrupt, they are not able to develop their land, over which they claim to be leaders. This leads to hopelessness. From underdevelopment to hopelessness. Hopelessness leads to untimely death, and this means the population is being decimated. That's what has happened in Africa. That's what has happened in Yoruba land until our exit from Nigeria. But now, look at what happens when we choose to reverse this. According to Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola, to end perpetual slavery, which is a big part of what the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba is for. We have to reclaim power. Yes. And that's the essence and the importance of the proclamation of sovereignty on the 12th of April 2024. To end perpetual slavery, we have to reclaim power. Reclaiming power means we are able to reclaim resources. That's the reason we wrote the reclamation notification document to the governors elected under Nigerian system to hand over all government offices, all borders, ports, etc. to the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba. Because having the power enables us to reclaim resources. When we reclaim resources, then we are able to end slavery. When we end slavery, it automatically means that we end poverty. And we are able to eradicate every other weapon of colonization and slavery. And Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola always emphasizes to us that the very first thing to do is restoration of our indigenous language. And that's the reason today the official language of the Democratic Republic of the Yoruba is Yoruba language.